All right, with that, everyone, I think we've got a full crowd here and a lot of questions for the Next Door, a wonderful organization. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning. This is Dan Spots for the Dallas Area Chamber Community Affairs. Today is Thursday, November 13, and our guest this morning is Eve Elderwell. Eve, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, with the Next Door Incorporated, the largest nonprofit social services agency organization in the Columbia Gorge and with multiple programs. And we're going to be learning a lot about those this morning. But for right now, let's go around the room, do some introductions and organizational updates, brief updates for the good of the order. I'm going to start with Trish Neal, upper left-hand corner of my screen. Go ahead, Trish.
Good morning. I'm Trish Neal. I'm with Legal Shield, and I am still looking for someone to join my team. I've got a listing on the Chamber's jobs page, and I'll drop that information in the chat.
Thank you, Trish. Mr. Roger Nichols.
Thank you. A roving reporter covering both radio and newspaper, and two big meetings yesterday. The Columbia River Gorge Commission unfortunately had to postpone its decision on making changes to the management plan that would make it easier for people who've lost their homes in the two fires to rebuild. That was because the tribes did not have a full 30 days to look over the final draft language. So we're having a special meeting in December on the 16th, and we will be voting on those changes at that time. The other one was from the Klickitat County Commission yesterday, where they decided they're going to hire an administrator, and it turns out to be former mayor of the Dalles, Rob Van Cleve, is going to be doing that. So those are the two big news pieces for the day.
Those are big pieces of news, both of them. Thank you, Roger. December 16 is that next Gorge Commission meeting?
Yes, it's a non-standard day for the Gorge Commission to meet. They needed some extra time to process all of the comments that are coming in or will be coming in.
Understood. Thank you, Roger. Mr. Bill Lennox.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Lennox with Six Rivers Dispute Resolution Center and also with North Central Public Health.
Mike Wacker. Mike, you're muted, sir. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. The Dalles Kiwanis Club is gearing up for Christmas. We adopt a family. We're going to be giving sleigh rides a couple of times. On the 22nd, we're going to be at St. Peter's holiday sale, which is a Saturday. It's always a Saturday before Thanksgiving. And then after the Starlight Parade, we're going to be doing a workshop down at the Neon Sign Museum, Santa's workshop, where kids can come and do a project and meet Santa. Santa will be there. And of course, we're getting the Santa sleigh ready for giving kids rides at St. Mary's. And then we'll really deck it out for Santa for the Starlight Parade.
Cool event always. Thank you, Mike. Corliss.
Morning, everyone. Corliss Marsh. I'm with the Senior Center and the Library and Habitat for Humanity. Just the Christmas Bazaar again, same day as St. Mary's at the Senior Center. So see you there too. And I'm making soup, so I'll come.
Scott McKay.
Good morning, everyone. Scott McKay. I am now I'm a volunteer for Circles of Care. I retired from that position as community liaison at the end of August, and the parent organization Age Plus is trying to decide whether to continue the program or not. The goal was to find some local organization to take over the program, but we haven't found anyone at this point in time. We are continuing supporting those folks who we have in the past. We just aren't taking on any new members at this time. So thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Scott. I wish you well in that search. Let's keep our ears to the ground for possibilities, all of us. Commissioner Phil Brady.
Good morning, Phil Brady, Wasco County Commissioner. I'm looking ahead to next week, and this isn't a local event, but some people from the Dalles will probably be there. It's the Antelope Harvest Festival. I'm just highlighting just to say there's a lot going on in Antelope. They have rebuilt the old school that the Rajneeshis took over, and they're really trying to say, let's get away from the Rajneeshi. That happened, but we're bigger and different than that now. So at this Harvest Festival, last time I was there were 250 people from 4 counties: Wasco, Sherman, Wheeler, Jefferson. It was amazing. It's the kind of thing you dream of, like, wow, the country folk coming together, including, I met people from the Dalles there that have roots in South Wasco County. After that, the middle of next week, I and the other commissioners are going to be in Eugene. It's the annual Association of Oregon Counties Convention, and I'm going to be working on a panel regarding, as you know, healthcare, and how to keep rural clinics going.
Thank you, Phil. Julie Reynolds.
Morning, I'm Julie Reynolds. I'm with the Fort Dallas Museum Commission and with St. Paul's Historic Chapel, which I talked about a week or so ago. So just an update on the chapel. On this Saturday, November 15th, from 10 to 4, we're going to have a benefit art show and sale, not in the main chapel, but in the parish hall next door, or attached, Remington Hall. Paintings by David Ridge, who's an oil painting artist, gourds by Ruth Gordon, and photography by David Gross. And part of those proceeds will go to support the chapel. So we invite you to come and look around. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie. Julie, you'd be welcome to put information about those in the chat box, so we have that recorded there as well. Thank you. Leslie Naramora.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Naramore. I'm the Executive Director of Mid-Columbia Community Action Council, which serves all of Hood River, Wasco, and Sherman counties. And I had just a couple things I wanted to share this morning. First is last week was our Housing Stabilization Summit, which we held at the Civic Center. And that was the 3rd annual of that. And we think we had around 160 people. So that gets bigger and better every year. So if you didn't make it this year, highly encourage you to come next year. And then the other thing is that we are fully staffed up for the Hood River shelter. So we open that seasonally in Hood River. We're fully staffed and we're going to open that on November 17th. So we're really excited because every year it's a little bit of a tough time trying to find staff for that, but we're fully staffed and ready to go.
Excellent. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie, if you'd like to put that opening date in the chat box. And of course, anyone on the call this morning, events, things like that coming up, please go ahead and feel free to add those. Vesta Smith.
Good morning. I'm just retired and here to find out what's going on in my community.
Good for you. Thank you, Vesta. Dave Peters.
Good morning, everybody. Dave Peters, Columbia Cascade Housing, Mid-Columbia Housing Authority. Not much to report there. We're going vertical in Mariposa Village in Hood River. It looks like buildings now, so that's great. That'll be 130 something, 36 apartments maybe, I think. We have, I think, all the funding we need for the project over where DeHart's Market is or was. So that one's going to be moving forward as early as summer next year, might start construction. And Karen, my boss, will be talking, I believe, the first Thursday in December. So you can get a lot more information from her at that time. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Good to know. I think that might be December 11th for Karen. We'll double check. I'll put that in. Thank you. All right. With that, I don't believe I missed anyone. So we'll go ahead and turn this over to Eve. And Eve, would you like to have questions during the presentation, or would you ask people to hold questions until after the presentation? And here you go.
Thanks, Dan. I think questions throughout are just fine. And of course, please feel free just to throw them into the chat as well. I know with what I'll be screen sharing, it can be a little challenging sometimes to see the chat. So please just feel free to raise your hand, or if there is just a question that you're like really burning to like ask at that particular moment, please just, raise your hand, unmute yourself. Otherwise, just for general questions, I think we can use the chat box too. So maybe a little bit of both, if that works for you, Dan.
That's perfect. We often do it that way. That's great, Eve. And I'll keep an eye on the chat box here too. Okay, with that, Eve Elderwell with the Next Door Incorporated. Eve, take it away.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dan, and good morning, everyone. It's so great to see so many familiar faces and names and community partners that us at the Next Door have overlapped with for years at this point. So thanks for being here. Thanks again, Dan, and the Chamber for the invitation to come and chat a little bit about the Next Door this morning. I believe pretty much everyone here is familiar with some of the work that we do and the populations and demographics that we work with here in the Gorge. But I do have a little bit to share this morning. And again, feel free to pop questions in the chat as I'm going to go over a little bit about our programs, our departments, some key kind of notable mentions, since we do have many programs at this point. We have almost 40 different programs that run across a 7-county region. And at this point, we have almost 120 staff. And that number, of course, increases by 20 to 30 in the summertime when we have some of our summer youth employment programs that come on board too. So we are growing. We have more than doubled since the start of the pandemic. We had about 50 staff. And so we are continuing to grow and meet the needs. And so this morning, I'm just delighted to share some information about some of our programs, as well as ways to get involved. And of course, I'm happy to share a little bit about how we're responding to changes happening in our communities, and how we are hopefully adapting to meet the ongoing needs as well. So I'm going to share a little something. Maybe if you don't mind letting me know when you can see it, since there'll be a little bit of a delay. That would be great.
It's showing up now.
Fantastic. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm with the Next Door. I'm the donor relations officer here at the organization and have been here for just about 4 years. Came on during the pandemic, so I've been able to witness some of the growth. Prior to working as our donor relations officer in our development and marketing department, I worked as a program manager through our health promotion services. So really got to see some of the work that was happening on the ground throughout Washington and Oregon. As you can see here, and I'm not going to go through every single detail on all of these slides, but please feel free. Try to go slowly. So if there's anything that you want to kind of take a peek at and look at yourselves, please feel free just to look at the slides as well too. So we have been around for over 50 years, and really as a social service organization, our whole mission and vision has been working primarily with children, youth, students, and families to improve the health and the safety and the value of our communities. What started as many of you may be aware, our foster programs and some of our alternative schools for youth, high school youth going through the juvenile system, has really increased to continue to work with families, youth of all ages, and then also spread out, because we've recognized that healthy communities mean that these individuals are taken care of from their basic needs all the way through to how they get involved in the community, whether that's workforce development, the business development that they're doing out in the communities, the ways that they feel safe and healthy with some of their health or healthcare, for example. It really extends into what's known as those social determinants of health. So healthcare, access to food, access to safe homes. We really are taking a look at supporting families and youth, but then also encouraging them to go above and beyond and to be able to thrive in their communities as well. A few fast facts about our organization. We were founded in 1971, so we are well over 50 years established in the Gorge. At this point, we have closer to 38 programs. We serve over 10,000 people in 7 counties: Hood River, Wasco, Sherman, Wheeler, Gillum, Klickitat, and Skamania counties. So we serve both sides of the river. This past year, we actually rolled out our in-house database system so that we can accurately track the number of individuals that we're serving, because we've always said for years, oh, we probably serve over 3,500 individuals. That was kind of our standard number that we would include in grants and presentations and just out and about with the community, but we really had no great way of tracking it. So it took about 5 years to develop an in-house reflections database system. And at this point, we have a little over half of our staff trained to add in the data of the families that they're working with. And so just with that half of our staff alone, we're able to see already that we are reaching over 10,000 people, whether that's through the schools, the outreach events that we're a part of, the distribution events that we're doing with, say, migrant seasonal farm workers or at farm worker housing, or some of the actual direct services that we're providing to youth that come to our offices for mental health supports and their families. So well over 10,000 individuals at this point, which is just an astonishing number for all of us to think about in terms of some of the reach and the ways that we're involved in the communities. We have, at this point, I'm so excited to share, we are located in 3 offices now around the gorge. We have our Hood River office up over by Rose Hours in the Heights, the Dells office, which is up over by on Kelly Ave, and we just are transitioning into an office in White Salmon in collaboration with several other key partners, including WAGAP over on the Washington side of the river. So we are just moving into, and I believe our kickoff, can't remember the exact date, but last month was that opening and celebration. So we will be over in White Salmon able to provide services into Klickitat County. And we also have a group home. So we purchased a group home in 2024 for youth that are in 24/7 foster care. And at that point, our youth home is up and running. It's fully staffed. We're located in the Dalles with our group home. And right now with zoning kind of regulations for the city, we're able to house 5 youth there full time. So we also have that group home for youth. This year, this fiscal year from July 1st through June 30th of 2025, our annual budget is 11.5 million. Much of that, it's continuing to grow. Much of that is funded, of course, through grants, contracts with school districts, contracts with states. We do get a lot of Medicaid funding, so that will be interesting to see how that may be affected over the next year or so. Again, we have over 100 employees and 88 plus funding streams that feed into our annual budget. We just published our annual report at the start of this fall. So I just wanted to give a little snapshot so that you could take a look at, again, where some of the financials, where the revenue is coming in. A lot of it, again, as you can see, is contracts and grants. We do receive some fee for service, and we also have about 600,000 in donations from community members, foundations, businesses, etc., that are supporting our organization. Also, to this year, at the very bottom, you can see we are just starting as well to roll out officially tracking the number of volunteer hours we had. And so for this last fiscal year, we were just again astonished to see that we had volunteer hours valued at almost 100,000 for a year, which for our organization is almost the equivalent of 2 full-time staff members. So really, really, really incredible to see the number of volunteers that are involved, be it fostering, mentoring through our Gorge Youth Mentoring Program, showing up and helping at plant sales, getting involved in some of our community gardens. And of course, we include our board members in this and the work that they're doing as well. We have 5 departments in our organization, and you can kind of think of the next door as having almost like 2 branches of service areas. One is really that direct service side of things. So that's a lot of that mental health support, the treatment services, the work that we're doing at our alternative schools, that direct service work where individuals, clients, participants are really receiving one-on-one supports, whether that's periodically or like with our home visiting services over a period of up to 3 years. And then our other side is that health promotions side of things that's really getting out into the community, doing outreach, supporting with business development, working out and providing community gardens for individuals to come and learn how to farm. That really is more focused on bigger picture, supporting the community, supporting community health and wellness and the individuals that make up our community. So you can think of those two branches as what we do, direct service and then community supports. And here you see our departments as well. We have a few pictures. This is a picture of our youth drop-in center at the Dalles office, and this is where we have at our highest levels, we have about 50 youth a week, or excuse me, a month that come through this drop-in space. This is for youth age 13 to 24 to come in the afternoons. Many of these youth are either at risk housing-wise, have an unstable home environment, or have another risk factor that are coming in for social supports, for showers, for food, for clothing, for access to resources, including mental health supports that they might not otherwise have access to. So it's a great team, and we really see high numbers of youth coming and accessing this space at the Dalles office. So I want to start off by chatting a little bit about our branch of work that really is more out in the community, that health promotion services program and some of the department and some of the programs that we have there. Two that I really want to highlight are in our economic development services branch. And so this branch of the Next Door is focused on supporting business owners and supporting economic opportunities for folks that come through our program. Two of these programs in particular are Promoting Prosperity, or Promoviendo Prosperidad program, which is a small business assistance program for individuals that are looking for training, are looking for access to capital to help them get their business up and running, are looking for support to understand all of the paperwork you need to do, what you need to file, starting a small business. My husband runs 4 businesses. We get it. It can be really intimidating, especially in the Gorge. You got to have one on the Washington side, one on the Oregon side. There's a lot of paperwork coming through. So this program really is about supporting individuals that want to run something but feel a little intimidated with startup costs and or administrative documents and understanding what they need to do. So right now we have over 90 small businesses that have come through this program. I do want to clarify that this program is not limited to Latino-owned businesses. We absolutely open this up to any individuals that want to run small businesses. We do see, though, of course, that there's a high number of Latino-owned business owners that come through, since we do offer this program in English and Spanish. So we really see a lot of the Latino community coming in for some of that additional bilingual support as well. I'm happy to share a list of some of the businesses that have come through too afterwards. For example, Lake Taco and Hood River, which is this picture up here on the left, has come through our program. Lilo's Hawaiian Barbecue has come through the program in the Dells. There's numerous food trucks in the area, cleaning businesses. We're seeing right now a high number of construction, small businesses coming through, and general contracting businesses too. So happy to share that list of businesses because that's a great way to support the community and those business owners. We also have our Roots or Raíces Cooperative Farm. Right now, this farm is based in Hood River County, but we have 4 plots of land that have been donated from homeowners, landowners, that are open to small business farmers that want to grow and sell vegetables. So we actually run a CSA, a farm box program through the Next Door, and throughout the year we'll do various different plant sales. We have a great big plant sale in May. Throughout the summer we'll run our food box program of fresh organic vegetables for pickup every week, and then the farm we run various pumpkin sales, fall food sales. And so this really is that small business program for farmers that may not have access to the tools and or the land, but really want to get their hands in the dirt, literally and metaphorically, and help support some of our food initiatives in the Gorge as well. We also have our education and outreach training services program. This program is specifically focused on training and working with other community partners and professionals in the area. This has been around for several years as well and has helped over 40 organizations in Oregon and Washington train their staff. A lot of the trainings that come through this program are based on, for example, plain language, Latino outreach, working with culturally sensitive communities, and how other nonprofits and organizations can adapt best practices to working with the Latino community, working with the Native community around the area. This program runs a lot of focus group facilitation as well. So when program partners are coming in and they want to do some community-based research, we will guide them through the education and outreach training services, as that program really works with our staff who are a part of the communities that maybe the partner wishes to reach, and can help to facilitate those focus groups in the languages that they need to be facilitated and in the community cultural practices that need to be engaged with. Roger, I see your hand raised. Please go ahead, shout out.
I have a question because I see in your list under our partners, King County, which is where Seattle's located. It's way north. How did that happen, and what are you doing for King County? Are you expanding your source?
Great question, Roger. Going backwards, no, we are not necessarily expanding our source. King County has resources. We are very much always going to be focused in the gorge. We do not necessarily envision at all at this point expanding out to Clark, going up north, going down south outside of the gorge. But with King County specifically, great observation. We have a lot of county departments, including King County is one example of county employees that reach out for plain language trainings. So they were a training partner of ours. And so a lot of the external King County, Clark County, Multnomah County, for example, those county departments have reached out for plain language trainings. It's kind of one-offs, if you will.
Great
question.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Also, under our health promotion services, we have our family services. This is where we're really working with families with young kiddos, ages 0, well, pretty much from birth all the way up through ages 5. We have our Healthy Families home visiting program. This is supporting moms, parents that have babies between newborn and up to age 3 that really maybe need that additional support. They need that access to resources. This is a home visiting. We have in-home visitors that come in up to every week for up to 3 years of a young person's life, just to provide some of those trainings, that emotional support, the support that parents, moms, caregivers need when they're feeling really, really overwhelmed during that period of time. Also, in our health promotion services, we have a lot of our outreach programs here. So you can see some of the outreach work that we're doing in the community. This could be doing, for example, in 2024, we distributed 150 winter weatherization kits for home individuals living in homes or renting apartments that needed to do a little winter weatherization. This health promotion services really does a lot of that immediate kind of like rapid response outreach to various communities around the gorge, getting them food boxes, getting them propane, working at in-lieu sites to help shovel out the driveways and help individuals get in and out of in-lieu sites, getting winter weatherization kits out to communities. So this really is that rapid response, supporting the community, advocating for the community, culturally sensitive communities around the gorge as well. Here you can see a little bit again of some of the work that we've been doing through health promotion services. Last year, we, in our Raices farming program, with our annual May plant sale, they raised almost $10,000 through plant sales to help that program. This year, we tallied the numbers and they raised almost $15,000 to support that program, the tools, and the ongoing education of farmers. There's a lot in health promotion services, so I'm going to keep on squeaking by. But again, you can see some of the work of our my coworkers here in action. We have a lot of advocacy work that we do through health promotion services. I would say here, a big thing I want to highlight is our migrant seasonal farm worker outreach. This program supports the needs of migrant seasonal farm workers coming through. And some of you may know, it's hard to kind of tally the numbers of how many farm workers come through the area every year, but our estimate is that there is at least 10,000 individuals that are coming through. We know from our numbers that we're reaching about 4,000 migrant seasonal farm workers across the gorge every year. A lot of this is because our community health workers have strong relationships with not only the seasonal farm workers, but with orchardists, with farm businesses. And so our community health workers are actually able to go into farm worker housing, meet with families, meet with youth, bring vaccines, bring food, bring school supplies, bring what they need directly into some of this farm worker housing to support those families.
Eve, we
Yes,
have a question from Phil in the chat box.
sure thing.
Who is leading the gardening program, Raices?
Ooh, great question, Phil. Our Raíces coordinator, his name is Jaime. He is incredible. I'd be happy to pop his info into the chat as well, or get that over to you, Phil. But he coordinates all of the events that come through, the days that the farmers are out there working on the land plots. He works with the homeowners to make sure that everything feels comfortable to them as well too, and gets them involved. So his name is Jaime Lenin, I believe is his last name.
Thank
He
you.
is
I'd like
Phil at this point. He is monolingual Spanish, learning English, but so just FYI, for any conversations.
that's fine. I do winter gardening and I'd like to check in with them, and I speak Spanish, so that'd be great.
Wonderful, fantastic. There's definitely, Phil, been conversations kind of brewing because right now that program is based in Hood River County, and we actually have a lot of some individuals that are coming from Wasco over to Hood River because they want to garden, but there's been that conversation of like, oh, are there opportunities to farm in the Dells? So would love to connect you with them.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, a few more things with health promotion services. Again, you can see many, many, many programs under all of these branches. We have a voter mobilization project, which really is nonpartisan, non-biased. It's really out there just to encourage individuals to get involved civically, to vote, and to be a part of the community from a civic side of things. Our Columbia Gorge Pride Alliance, as many of you may know, the Pride Alliance recently, I want to say in the last 2 or 3 years, came under the umbrella of the Next Door as well, and that is a program specific to supporting the LGBTQ plus community in the Gorge. Here you can see some of the community events that our Latino programs are a part of throughout the year. Okay, so getting into more of that branch that is related to direct service. So working with youth, providing treatment, summer youth employment, for example. We'll start off with youth services. Our youth services department is focused on anyone from ages 6 to 25. So yes, we have our 0 to 5. That's kind of in our health promotion side of things. Our youth services is that face-to-face outreach in schools, mental health supports, life skills, job skills, training, and mentorship program. We have a fantastic team of over 24 individuals that are out in the schools. They are supporting our summer youth employment projects. They are running up to 4 summer camps throughout the year. This is just a really incredible and vibrant department at our organization, and really was part of that kind of root of where the Next Door started. So we have our Gorge Youth Mentoring Program which used to be Big Brother, Big Sister, as some of you know. And then when Big Brother, Big Sister decided to kind of focus more on, if you will, urban environments, we realized that we wanted to keep this program in our rural communities. And so we are running it as our Gorge Youth Mentoring Program. We have our Summer Youth Employment Program. You can see some of that right here in the picture. And this is where we interview up to 30 youth every summer that get involved on maintaining summer trails, getting out, especially out in the environment, working with park systems, working with the forest system. This summer, for example, our youth were out at Multnomah Falls in Hood River County, and they were one of the only teams there this summer helping to maintain the trails around Multnomah Falls. So this is a great opportunity for youth to get outside, get off of their screens, for parents and caregivers to have a subsidized summer camp for their kiddos and be able to just create that safe environment for young people to learn skills socially and hard skills as well too. Okay, you can see a few pictures. This is our native culture camp that we run every year, where we have up to 60 Native youth throughout the gorge come and learn from their elders and engage in culturally specific activities with their community. Like I was mentioning, over 30 high school youth come through our summer camps, help lead the summer camps, and are part of our summer youth employment. I want to say this past year we paid them about 16 or 17 an hour to participate in these youth employment programs. We have our youth drop-in center. You all saw a little glimpse of what that looks like for at-risk youth ages 14 to 24 in the Dalles. We have our Native Supports program, which is really focused on supporting the Native American community here in the Gorge. We do a lot of work with young people, and we do a lot of work with full-time residents or Native Americans that come through the in-lieu sites across the river and need access to food, propane, health supports as well too. So that Native Supports program is out there running tons of events, running around. They have on November 24th, they have a full day of going to all of the in-lieu sites up and down the river and handing out hundreds of food boxes to individuals there this year. So they are very much out in the community running around and supporting on both sides of the river. Again, you can see this is a picture from our culture camp this past summer with all of the young people learning how to make moccasins, make drums, participate in a community powwow. It was really just heartwarming to see this camp come together this past year. A little bit more of our culture camp, which is one of 4 camps that we run every year. We also have our Nature's Greatest Strength free summer camp for middle school youth. And that is, again, about getting outside and teaching diversity, equity, and inclusion to these young kiddos, really from that perspective of, hey, you know, we're all different and we all come from really various backgrounds, and like we are out here in nature. What are we going to do to all work together to get through XYZ problem? You know, we'll kind of model a challenge for them to figure out together in nature and really just say, okay, you all get to work together to figure this out. So that really is about getting them outside and teaching them those life skills of working together in collaboration. Summer Youth Employment Program and our Libros con Amigos, Books with Friends, is also a literacy based summer camp for kiddos every summer that we run in English and Spanish. So we put flyers out for these every year. All, if you know of, and we know summer camps are so expensive. All 4 of these are completely free to the community. They fill out, they book out. We try and promote them well in advance. So for any of you that would be interested or are working with families, working with kiddos, know individuals that are looking for summer camps for their kids, I'd be happy to share this out as well too moving forward, since these are great popular programs. We have youth outreach workers at many schools throughout the Gorge, everywhere from the Dalles to Trout Lake and many points in between, including Wishram and Lyle. These youth outreach workers are really there for the kiddos. So they are there to provide that listening ear and or access to resources for any of the high schoolers, middle schoolers, elementary students that may have a need for additional support, and their families as well. And last but not least, we have our treatment services, which is really where everything got started in the 1970s with our Clare House program specifically. We still have Clare House. It is running in the back of our office up in Hood River over by Rose Hours. This is our therapeutic day treatment and schooling for male youth ages 14 to 18 that are in the foster care system and have also gone through the juvenile justice system. So this is specifically for male youth age 14 to 18 that instead of going to maybe a more traditional juvenile incarceration and or rehabilitation program, they are coming over to the Clare House. They receive 24/7 support. They receive school every single day. They receive mental health supports and treatment every single day, and are typically in the program for at least 2 years with court mandated support until they graduate. And yeah, it's just been incredible to see the number of graduates that have come through. We have anywhere from 2 to 5 graduates per year that are graduating high school, getting their high school credits, and then moving on to really just build incredible lives for themselves. And we have our Kelly Ave School, which is our therapeutic day treatment school over in the Dalles. And we've partnered with the school district in the Dalles to provide this support for middle and high school youth who are on the Oregon Health Plan. Here you can see some of our Clare House graduates in action. A little bit of info about Clare House and some of the foster parents and some of our kind of more treatment specific programs. One of the reasons that we did, a question that comes up often is, how are you doing with foster parents right now? And was there a specific reason around getting a group home? Right now, we have some incredible foster parents. It is very challenging to find foster parents. All of our foster parents are in their 70s and 80s, working with typically teenagers. And it's hard to find foster parent. Understandably, everyone's so tapped out right now. Everyone is so busy. It can be really overwhelming to foster on top of life at this time period. So we have struggled to find foster parents in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that have that bandwidth right now. That was part of why we opted to look into purchasing a group home to meet that need, since the need was there. And we also know that we can only ask so much of the community right now, especially during COVID when everybody was really, really, really strapped, to put it lightly. Here you can see a picture of our group home. So this is our group home, that foster care home in action over in the Dalles.
Eve, I would have a
Yes.
fast question on that one. I think you mentioned
Sure
that
thing.
zoning requirement limits that to 5. Any possibility of expansion there, or demand for expansion?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yes, we've talked about looking at what we can do to maybe change or apply for, or and again, I'm not necessarily on that zoning operation side of our administration, but we have had those conversations of, is there something that we can do to maybe change some of the zoning regulations for this home, and up the number, and or do we need to look at getting another group home somewhere? And of course, there's probably pros and cons to both. So we know that there's more of a need for more than 5, kiddos to receive
Yeah,
support.
that's what I'm assuming. One of my questions was whether you have a corollary to the Clare House, and it sounds like you do, but something that you can build upon in the Dalles.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, great question, Dan. Okay, I do want to, be mindful of time and also open up just for general conversations, ideas, feedback, questions. I do want to just kind of highlight how to get involved with us at the Next Door. For those of you that we worked with from a community partner standpoint that are here this morning, thank you, thank you. I know that we really admire the work that you all do and appreciate the opportunities to partner with all of you. So thank you for all of that ongoing partnership with us. In general, from that kind of individual community level, we have various ways to just get involved. As an individual, we have a monthly newsletter that goes out to over 4,000 individuals around the area, and that is always highlighting stories of hope, success stories, upcoming events, all of our happenings. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we have various events throughout the year. Every May, we have our plant sale. In April, we have happy hours. We run kind of like social mingle events with various businesses throughout the year that are no ask events where individuals can just come in, grab a drink, grab some food. This year we did some pumpkin painting with kiddos at Kickstand in Hood River. Just opportunities throughout the year for families to come in, for kids to get fun swag and do fun activities, and for us to share a little bit about what the Next Door does. So we do have yearly events. Every fall, we do our pumpkin sale. In fall, we have our big Harvest of Hope. We just ran that last month at the end of October, and that was just an incredible way to bring, we had over 100 individuals come and raised almost $30,000 of support directly to the next door. So that's a great way to get involved as well. So we really have drop-ins, we have plant sales, we have community drives that are happening throughout the year too. Some of you may have seen those. We have our baby shower in April where we're accepting donations of all things baby and young kid supplies. We have tons of winter drives, as I know many of you are involved in as well too. We have tons of winter drives coming up, coat drives, hygiene drives, clothing drives, food drives, winter weather kit drives. So we have a lot of drives that come out throughout the year as well too. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We keep our website really active as well too, so you can go on there. We just published our annual report, so you can see more of what we're doing every year as well. Let's see, what else do we got? And I guess I would say too, please, I'm happy again to share out that promoting prosperity businesses and the list of businesses that we have that have run through our program. And you can, and a great way to get involved with the next door and with those businesses is to shop or eat at any of those businesses as well too. So that's a great way to get involved. We're always accepting mentors too. Shout out to anyone that may know somebody wanting to be a mentor. Right now, we have over 30 mentees on the wait list, and that number kind of stays pretty steady throughout the calendar year. So really, this is that opportunity to spend 4 to 7 hours a month cooking, going on a hike, taking a kiddo rafting, just getting involved and being that social support once or twice a month with a young person in need. Happy to share a little bit more about Gorge Youth Mentoring out to anybody that may be interested as well. We've had mentors that have been there for kids for 18 years. And we have one particular mentor family whose mentee is now an adult and lives just down the road from them too. So it's just really incredible to see some of those long-term connections that happen as well too. Of course, we're also still always open to foster parents. I'm happy to provide trainings, monthly reimbursement, to pay days off each month, and a lot of financial support from our foster program staff as well too. So that will always be out there, Dan, even though we might be looking for, how to expand our group home or other ways that we can bridge that gap. But we're always open to connecting with potential foster parents as well too. So I will stop there. I know that's a lot. I hope that kind of gave that umbrella summary of some of the programs that we have at the next door, how we're working with many different communities, how we're working with kiddos, families, trying to support the community from the individual all the way on up through King County and trying to, train other staff to be able to work with the communities that they're working with too. So I'll pause there. I know that was a lot. Thank you all so much for just, again, having us on and hearing a little bit about what we do. I'd love to take any questions.
My goodness, Eve, I've worked with a few of those programs. I thought I knew a little bit about the next door. I know very little, having gone through all of that. That is amazing. Questions for Eve?
Eve, I was going to say what Dan just said. Thank you very much. Eve, the Kiwanis Northwest Kiwanis clubs in the Northwest are strong supporters of the fellowship program at Dornbecker Hospital. Are you, as next door, if a child tragically has cancer, I just wanted the next door to be aware of Dornbecker Hospital. It's one of the top cancer research treatment centers in the United States. The fellowship program gets many applications, and there's only 2 a year, so and they rotate through. So I just want you to be aware of that. If a child does get sick, that Dornbecker is there for them.
That's great, Mike. Thank you. I personally was not aware of that. If you'd be open to putting that info, the name of the hospital or any info about it in the chat, I'd be happy to share that and get that out to our admin team too. And again, kind of like what Mike was doing, any resources, we are always open to connecting with other partners. knowing that there's resources like these hospitals, especially with the families that we're working with, kids we're working with. So if any of you have any ongoing suggestions of additional resources that we can add to the resources we share with families, that is welcome too. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Eve. Leslie, you have a question?
Yeah, that was a great presentation, Eve. Thank you. I was curious, because I know you all serve such a large portion of our Spanish-speaking population, with ICE being in the gorge this week, has that been disrupting? We've been on locked. We've had our offices just locked all week for the safety of staff and clients. But what have you been doing, and has that been affecting your services?
Yeah, thanks, Leslie. Great question. So this week, yes, we also have been having our offices in lockdown as well with the increased ICE activity. We do have an ICE protocol that we created a few months ago in our organization in terms of what to do should ICE show up on the premises, whether that's hanging out in the parking lot, trying to get inside. So we do have a very active policy. We're actually reviewing that at our in-house community preparedness meeting. So at the start of the year and earlier this year, when there were concerns about ICE and ICE coming to Hood River and Wasco and Klickitat, Skamania, just coming to the gorge in general, we did a few things. And yeah, Leslie, just holler if this feels like it's sounding cohesive or not. But starting at the start of the year, we opted to hire 2 rapid response community health workers. One is a specific staff member that is out in the community having a very close pulse on and monitoring ICE activity in the area, as well as anything statewide or nationally that's related to immigration. So that really is an immigration topics specific community health worker that's out there tracking ICE activity. We connect very closely with Hood River Latino Network too. So when there are videos coming through, when there's emergency texts, WhatsApps, emails, social media posts, that individual in our team is also getting that out to all of the participants and clients and families that we're working with. So we do have immigration specific, ICE specific staff member. We also have one for the LGBTQ plus community that's tracking any of those policy changes, lawsuits, legal changes, etc., nationally and in the state as well. So we have 2 rapid response individuals. Since earlier this year, they're both fantastic. We also pivoted and we've created every 2 to 3 weeks, we have a community preparedness team meeting for our staff that's held virtually and in person at our Hood River office. And so that's where we come together and we share and those 2 rapid response staff come and share what's happening in the community, what to watch out for, any changes. So we do have a community emergency preparedness meeting at our office. We have that protocol, which we're reviewing at our meeting today. So we review that regularly. And then out in the community, Leslie, right now, our Latino specific programs under our health promotion services, they are hosting several Know Your Rights workshops, and they've been hosting those workshops in English and Spanish over the last few months, and we'll continue to do that, as well as continue to provide through our Eastern Core of Oregon. I'm not sure, I'm terrible with acronyms, but we have another program, our ECHO program, that provides legal assistance too for Latino families. So we're that's one of the ways that we've adapted this year, and trying to just stay as up to date out in the community, filming what we got to film, sending out information about some of the ICE activity happening specifically. Thanks, Leslie.
Leslie, thank you for asking that question. That was my next question. So important. Leslie, Eve, I would like to follow up with a question though.
Sure.
All of the programs that you have, so many of them would appear to be on the hit list of our current administration. Are you seeing funding threats? And if so, what can we be doing to help?
Thanks, Dan. Yes, right now we have, again, almost 40 programs. And when a lot of the cuts were happening federally, and a lot of the executive orders were coming out at the start of this year. We had another emergency all staff meeting, and we counted the number of programs that we have in our organization that are culturally specific, whether that's working with migrant seasonal farm workers, working with the Native community, working with the Latino, Latina, Latinx communities in general, working with the LGBTQ plus community. Of our 38, we have over 15, so almost half of our programs are culturally specific. And to yes, be very candid, much of the funding that we're receiving for youth mental health supports at our offices is Medicaid funding to support all of our therapists. So right now, we are definitely seeing, similar to many nonprofits and partners in the area, we are seeing funding cuts coming through at the state level, school districts. Some of the contracts that are coming through that we may have secured are now no longer able to actually be implemented. So we're getting some of those contracts cut as well too. Or we'll be receiving grants, but maybe not necessarily the amount that we had been previously awarded. So it's a really challenging time at this moment. You know, at this point, it's almost like for our organization, we see it on the horizon coming. Closer and closer, and we're continuing to do what we can to adapt. We know that the needs aren't going away. If anything, they're going up. There's a lot of fear in the community. There's a lot of insecurity right now. We have a lot of community members coming through saying, you know, am I going to be able to eat today? Where should I go to eat? What about my kids? What if I get separated from my kids at school when I go drop them off? There's a lot of fear with a lot of our communities, and we know the need's not going to go away. So we are committed to continuing to provide those services. We had looked at one point at, you know, do we change language on our website? And we decided, you know, no, right now, like, this is what we believe in. This is what we need to do. Like, we are not going, for our organization at this moment, we are not going to stop providing those services. So, you know, in terms of getting to your question, Dan, about how individuals can support, we're absolutely still looking and partnering with new foundations, looking for and continuing to go after, and as many partners go after the grants that are available, and be open to those partnerships with individuals, businesses. We know that donations, especially right now, many of us are leaning on the community, and we want to be mindful of how much we lean on the community, but donations as well are always accepted and welcome too. So I know that was not necessarily the most concise answer, but hopefully that helps give some context about, you know, what we anticipate coming and how we want to lean into community and our partnerships with other partners too.
Thank you, Eve. Thank you. Questions for Eve this morning. And Eve, before I forget, if you would put a link in the chat, I believe on the Nextdoor website, there's a link to a summary of most or perhaps all of the programs that you've discussed, so that people have a ready way to reference that. But
Sure.
other questions for Eve this morning? We're coming up on the hour, and this has been an amazing presentation by an amazing organization.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you all so much. I did just pop the website in. Phil, if it works for you, I can get, if you're interested, I'll get Jaime's. He's active on email, and his phone is very active too. So he has a quick response turnaround. So I'd be happy to maybe get that info to you directly or through Dan, if that works for you.
Yeah, Eve, if you don't have Phil's email, please go ahead and email it to me. I'll connect the two of you with a introductory email.
Great.
I'll put my email real quick here if you leave the screen open, Dan.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be great, Phil. Thanks.
Thank you, Phil. Roger, you have a question, sir.
Yes, because of so many different things you've got going on, what's your governance structure like? Do you have a board, or how does that work?
Yes, great question, Roger. We do have a board. We have a very active board of directors. I want to say there's 13 or 14 board members right now. We have board members in Wasco County, Hood River County, Klickitat County as well. I should have mentioned this at the very start of our conversation, but we are very grateful to have a very diverse organization. Almost 40% of our staff are bilingual and or bicultural. We have a high number of staff that are Latino, Latinx, Native, members of the LGBTQ plus community. So we want for us, it's very important that our organization's makeup and our board of director makeup does have as much reflection as possible. So we are grateful to have a very diverse board geographically in those three counties at this time period, as well as women, men, LGBTQ plus, and Latino board members serving as well. So we have our board executive director, Janet Hamada, who's incredible. We have our layer of directors, department managers, supervisors, coordinators, and frontline staff. And almost half of our staff are all trained, certified community health workers in English or Spanish as well, too, that work out in the communities and are hired from the communities that they are from, live in, represent, or have lived experience in.
Super. Thank you so much. Great program.
Thanks, Roger, so much.
I'm into that. Great program. We are at the top of the hour. Unfortunately, this is one of those issues where I think we could almost devote a topic to each one of these programs. So, Eve, thank you for highlighting these, for everything that you're doing. Our regards to Janet, to the entire staff there at the Next Door. We have to stick together in these times. So, keep the faith. Everyone, thank you for joining Community Affairs. Please tune in next Thursday. I do have a few announcements. Starlight Parade coming up the day after Thanksgiving, of course. Cello Concerto by the Gorge Sinfonetta, November 14 and 16. That's at Wyeth Middle School. Hazardous Waste Collection event coming up the 15th in the Dalles, the 14th in Hood River. Go to the Chamber website for registration information on that. And then there's an Evening with Strangers. That's a new topic, a new event, November 15th, 6:30 in the Dalles. The address is in the Chamber Community Bulletin that you should all have received. If you don't, let me know. I can forward that. With that, everyone, our guest has been Eve Elderwell with the Next Door Incorporated on behalf of the Dalles Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining.